Good evening. My name is Shane Rock, and I serve as CEO of JCA. We're grateful that you decided to join us this evening. Welcome to this JCA informational series webinar on fraud, scam, and identity theft prevention. This is the first in a series of JCA's informational webinars. JCA's mission is to provide programs and services that support older adults and their families and build bridges across generations. JCA is unique in the range of programs and essential services it offers older adults in the greater Washington, D.C. region. JCA builds bridges across generations through the Heyman Interages Center that connects older adults with K through 12 students. We empower independence through transportation and employment programs. We offer resources to families seeking information and support around aging through our senior helpline and other information services. We give hope and support to people facing a diagnosis of early-stage memory loss and their care partners through our Samuel J. Gorlitz Kensington Clubs. To learn more about JCA, visit our website, accessjca.org. Before we get to tonight's topic, I have a few notes to share. Audience members will be muted. You may ask questions to the presenters using the Zoom Q&A box. The questions will be aggregated by JCA staff to avoid repetition, and they will be asked at the end of each of the two presentations. Certain specific questions may be forwarded to the presenters for individual follow-up. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm being constantly targeted by scammers through email, phone calls, and even solicitors at my home. And the scams are becoming more sophisticated. It's hard for me to identify a legitimate email from one that is phishing for my private information. Tonight, we're going to hear from two experts on how to recognize and avoid fraud, identity theft, and scams. First, I'd like to introduce Rafael Esponoza. Rafael is director of JCA's SHIP program, which stands for the State Health Insurance Assistance Program. Rafael has been working in healthcare administration for more than 30 years. Rafael came to JCA in 2017 from an agency that secured Medicaid coverage for self-paid hospital patients. With this background in government-funded healthcare programs, Rafael was able to easily navigate the complexities of Medicare. Now as SHIP's director, Rafael presents workshops on the various Medicare options and oversees a team of volunteers who work one-on-one with people seeking to choose the coverage that is best for them. Please welcome Rafael Esponoza.
Thank you, Shane. I appreciate it. Your kind words. Um, Let me share my screen so we can see this presentation. Okay. Okay. Can everybody see the screen? Can somebody confirm that it's being great? Okay. Thank you again, Shane, for confirming that everything is going well in this screen. All right. So thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Rafael Esponoza, Director of Montgomery County State Health Insurance Assistance Program. We provide unbiased Medicare guidance, education, and counseling to all our Medicare recipients, their caregivers, and family members in our county. For whatever reason, it's not moving. I think I have to use my fingers here, but I'm not sure really. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. but my arrows are not working. Medicare, is facing this, unfortunately, activity of Medicare fraud every year. And as you can read on the screen, Medicare lose about 60 billion every year in Medicare fraud. But it's not only fraud. Also, I have to tell you that it's abuse errors as well. So all together, all combined, is make it up to 60 billion each year. It's a lot of money. So what is Medicare fraud? Bill for services you did not receive, bill for something different than what you have received, bill for something that was not medically necessary, or bill for the same services or piece of equipment twice. What are Medicare billing errors? Those are human mistakes, entering the wrong name or information by accident. And if you are dealing with human errors and not a fraud, then you have to work with the provider to rectify the error. Now, these are the three words that you always need to keep in mind in regards to your health information. Protect your information at all times. If you detect something, always report it. Never keep it to yourself. It is important to uh, report these uh, situations to Medicare, to us, or to the proper authority in order to, to determine, in fact, something wrong uh, has happened. So keep in mind, protect, detect, report. Those are our three specific words for you to keep in mind all the time. So to protect yourself from fraud, you have to educate yourself about Medicare fraud and how you can do that. Well, tonight is one of the ways to do it by attending this presentation, but that's not the only way. You can go to Medicare.gov, or you can call 1-800-Medicare, or you can go to the Senior Medicare Patrol, or the National Council on Aging, NCOA, or ARP. And obviously our Montgomery County SHIP SMP site. You can go to those places and find additional information about, Medicare fraud. So that was the tip one. Tip two, only share your Medicare card and Social Security number with people you trust. You don't give up your information, your Medicare card number or Social Security to nobody except your doctor or your provider that you know they should have it. Also, do not allow anyone to review your medical records. Right now, it's a little bit more difficult for people to reach out to you records because they provide you CDs with the information in it. But before, remember where it used to give us a big chunk of, uh, papers that consist in your records. They used to have it there, not only your name, your birthday, but also your social security and your um, health insurance or Medicare number in there. So, but you have papers, don't leave it in places where anybody can read it. Keep it in a safe place where you will be the only one to have access to it. Okay, that's very important. Do not accept any medical supplies or services from a door-to-door salesman or over the phone. That's very common. Somebody knocking at your door And the first thing they're going to tell you that these supplies, you can get it for free and you don't have to worry about the bills. Okay. But also, they may try to convince you over the phone by give you a call. Now, it's very important to keep, excuse me, to keep a journal with your records of all your doctor's visits. It's important. That way, when you go back to review your Medicare uh, summary notices, you can compare and see that the information there match the one that you have in your record. That will be the tip 3. Tip 4 will be review your Medicare summary notices all the time. Every time you get it, review it. It's important information there that you need to be, make sure that all the services that is listed in there and they are being paid by your Medicare, uh, they are actually legit. So it's important to review this one. Excuse me. So read your Medicare summary notices, or if you have a health insurance, read your explanation of benefits, also known as EOB. Watch for services or equipment that you did not receive, services or equipment not ordered by your doctor, billing for the same thing twice, or other billing errors. Now, in tip 6, you have to report suspicious activity. If you suspect Medicare fraud or notice something suspicious, and you Medicare say summary notices reported by calling 1-800-Medicare, or you can contact us, Montgomery County SHIP, at 301-255-4250. So how you protect yourself? This will be tip number 7. Medicare will not call you to offer a new car or request information to issue a new car. Sometimes these scammers call you, letting you know that you has been assigned a new car. So you receive that kind of call, just hang up. Don't engage in any type of conversation or try to, get more information about it. Excuse me. Insurance companies also cannot call you at this time of the year unless they are already are cover you, and they have to talk to you about some issues, but there are insurance companies that you have not deal with them, or you don't have any relationship with them. Then you don't need to answer any of their questions, and you don't need to obviously talk to them. Okay, Medicare scams, phone scams. A person calls claiming to be from Medicare, stating that you are eligible for free services. The caller states all they need in return is your information, such as your Medicare number. You then give your Medicare number but never receive those services or a call back. What is not right in this situation? We just mentioned it before. Medicare doesn't call you at all. If you receive a call in regards to free services, you need to hang up immediately. That's what you should do next. You know, be careful. These people are very clever and try to convince you. So watch out for these kind of calls. Service or equipment scams. Your doctor knows your health needs. He is the only one who can actually request services or equipment for you. If you need medical service or equipment, you and your doctor can make that decision. Only give your medical number to your trusted doctor or doctors or providers. Your Medicare enrolled doctor will write an order for services or equipment when it is medically necessary. Nobody else knows, but you may receive a call from somebody try to sell you or try to tell you that you need some sort of knee support, you say, and the first thing they're going to tell you that you will not pay anything. So the key word here is going to be free. Who doesn't like free stuff? Everybody. So they're going to use that word very often to convince you that you need that need support. Now you say, wait a minute, how this person knows that I need support? Because usually when we get older, one of the common, you know, things that happen to older people is related to their needs. They know that. And coincidentally, if that's something that you are suffering from, boom, they got you right there. So be careful, okay? There is also a lot of social security scams, so protect your social security number. Government employees will never threaten to take away benefits or ask for money, gift cards, or personal information. Scammers use fake caller IDs from SSA or SSA Inspector General Fraud Hotline number. So don't trust 100% you caller ID too, okay? They are very sophisticated now about that. If a caller asks you for your social security number, bank account number, or credit card information, or any personal information, just hang up. Don't actually try to engage in a conversation, okay? Just hang up, period. So what you should do with a scammer? Hang up. You don't owe them any courtesy. If you talk with the person, then ask these 4 questions and write down their replies. What is your name? What phone number are you calling from? What company is this? Can I call you back? If they say no or refuse to answer, simply hang up. It's that simple. So how to report fraud? You can contact, in regards to report Social Security scam, you can contact the Social Security Administration Inspector at the Office of the Inspector General. You can visit the Federal Trade Commission, Identity Theft for more tips. You can go to the Federal Trade Commission, identitytheft.gov. How to report fraud, or in this case, billing errors. First, try to resolve the error yourself with the provider by calling them and explain that this information that is being provided, or the bill that is being sent to you is not quite right. So you can try to figure it out what the issue is and fix it. So you need to call them as soon as possible you get these bills, okay? If the provider refuse or will not explain or doesn't fix the error or you suspect fraud, you can call us, Montgomery County SHIP, at 301-255-4250. So these are going to be helpful links. Report Social Security comes to the SSA Inspector General, the Federal Trade Commission Identity Theft, the Federal Trade Commission Consumer Advice. You have the links there. You can learn more about Medicare fraud by contact the Medicare.gov or call 1-800-Medicare to go to the Senior Medicare Patrol SMP website, the National Council on Aging, NCOA, AARP, and of course, Montgomery County SHIP SMP. And you have our website information there. Get your health tracker. So you can contact SMP to get your health tracker. But in the event that you don't have that one, or you want to report record any medical services, you can use any notebook. You know, um, it doesn't have to be the health tracker that we provide, but you can use any book and record the date, time, uh, the provider's name, the reason of the visit, and that way you keep record of it. Now, if you don't get your Medicare summary notice when you're supposed to get it, then you can request a copy of this Medicare summary notice by going to you mymedicare.gov or by calling 1-800-Medicare. So this is a very brief information about Medicare fraud, but if you need additional information in regards to specific situations, you can call us at 301-255-4250. You can go to our website for some, other information about Medicare to medicareabcd.org. You can also go to our, or you can email us to ship@accessjca.org. Now, if you reside in another county here in Maryland, you can go to the Department, Maryland Department of Human Services, and you can look at it there. You ship county office phone number, and you can call them directly. Okay. And also, you maybe Google it and see if you are in another state, you can look at it based in the state where you reside. But this is this phone number that you are in your screen is only for Montgomery County residents. And that's it.
Okay, so we have a few questions. One of them is kind of general that maybe we didn't make clear at the beginning.
Mhm.
Can everybody hear me?
I can.
Okay, I'll assume that everyone can hear me. Um, Good. Okay. So somebody asked if there will be handouts after the presentation and will the slides be sent? So when after this is over and you'll get an email with the recording of this whole presentation and all the links, the phone numbers, the websites, the names of the organizations, any of the resources that you may find useful. And that will also include information for Virginia and DC. So those weren't necessarily covered here, but we will get that information out to everyone. So Rafael, the first question for you is a clarification about the difference between fraud and a billing error. The person asked if fraud includes billing errors, which I assume it doesn't, but How do you know the difference?
Well, as we said in the beginning, fraud is when you get billed for services, equipment that you have not received. Billing errors can be, uh, for instance, somebody who have or share the same name as you do, and they actually, um, this person receive services, the provider confused that person with you, and
Hmm.
instead of them getting the bill, you are the one getting the bill. And those kind of errors you can actually, or for something that is being or supposed to be covered by you Medicare plan or your Medicare, a, a Medicare Advantage plan that you may have is not covered, and you get a bill, and that maybe is a mistake from their part because they codify the services wrongly, and therefore you get a bill.
Okay. The next question is, how do you protect your information when providers require you to use their portal? Are the portals safe?
They should be protected. You should be worried about it, but like anything in right now, any site or any organization, insurance companies, even the federal government are exposed to be hacked. So it is no 100% guarantee that something is going to happen. So it's the same thing with these portals that providers have. They can be hacked at any time. So, but we don't have control over that.
Okay, that's not good news.
And it's not, but unfortunately, that's the way
Right.
it is currently.
Okay. Another question is, um, some people heard that you shouldn't carry your Medicare card in your wallet. But that means that when you go to the doctor, you have to remember to grab it, and you won't always have it with you in an emergency. So
Um,
what do you recommend?
Well, if you are the first time to a new doctor, new provider, yes, you should carry your medical card with you to present it to, the front desk at that doctor's office. But after you has been there once or twice, it's no longer need because they already have the information, and you don't need to bring your medical card with you. That will be, the best way to handle it.
What about for emergency situations where they need to know what your coverage is if you're taken to the emergency room?
Okay, so with emergency rooms, you are even if you have your information there, if you are unconscious, it's no way you're going to
Right,
provide
right,
that
right.
information. So maybe 2 days, 3 days later, you're going to pull out your wallet and give it to them. So same thing with your Medicare. Probably you don't have it right now at the moment, but 2, 3 days later, maybe some relative can bring up that information to the
Mhm.
place and provide that information to them.
Okay. Someone said that they did report fraud, and that Medicare didn't respond and said that it will take several years to correct.
Yes, that is. I don't know. It's several years, but what happened is Medicare have this system currently. This system where you report somebody committing fraud. They only put a red flag to that particular provider, um, because they cannot stop the claiming processing just because you call. They have to do an investigation.
Hmm.
Now, if more people call, if more red flags are raised at them, they may suspend the submission or the payment of the claims. But that investigation can take, a year, 2 years, maybe sometimes even 3 years. And that's not the only thing. You can get, you know, they can try to send you. Uh, Twice. If you are referring to somebody who actually send you supplies that you didn't ask for, they may be, even after you reported to Medicare, they maybe send you again
Uh-huh.
supplies after even you reported it. So you just keep your eyes open and then report it every time you see something. Now, the fact that it takes time for Medicare to investigate and prosecute these people, just report it, because if we don't do nothing, then they will continue doing
Right,
this.
right, right. And so if Medicare or Social Security needs to contact you, um, legitimately, how will they do it? What should you look out for that is legitimate?
It can happen. It can happen. I don't want to say it will never happen. It can happen. If they do contact you by phone, it's to tell you that you need to contact them,
Uh-huh.
you know, or to go to their offices.
Right.
And they will tell you, they maybe not even tell you what the issue is. This just that you need to contact them, and that's basically what they're gonna tell you. They will not ask you for any personal information, not at
Uh-huh.
all.
Okay. Somebody had an issue where uh, a family member with dementia was a victim of fraud, and they were told that that person had to talk to Medicare to report it, but the person had dementia and they couldn't do that. What can a caregiver do in that case?
And the caregiver, it is in Montgomery County. They can contact us, and we will be more than happy to assist with the reporting.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But I don't think the person have to be, in this case, the medical recipient, because this person is not available to do that. The caregiver can report it also.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay.
if they don't want to talk to this person at all, Medicare doesn't want to talk to them because there is not the actual beneficiary, then they can call us.
Okay. Somebody asked if it's okay for a doctor's office to request a picture of a Medicare card be sent to them by email.
No, don't do that. Emails can be, hack, and somebody can get you information.
Right.
So never submit any personal information by email. We strongly recommend not to do that.
Okay.
Excuse me. If you need to provide a copy of your Medicare card, take your Medicare card to that doctor's office and have them copy it right there. That will be the safest way to do it.
Okay. Okay. I think that's mostly it. There's a couple of questions I didn't quite understand, but we can get back to those people individually. So, okay, I think that covers that. And I'm going to mute myself and we'll move on to the next presentation.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Rafael, for that informative presentation. Really appreciate it. Next, I have the honor of introducing Walter Hauser. Walter Hauser volunteers with the Montgomery County Police Department, the police department's financial crime section. He teaches fraud prevention, cybercrime prevention, personal safety, and emergency and non-emergency assistance. He speaks to audiences of all ages, from high school students to residents of senior living centers. He has created more than 50 web pages on the MCPD website to educate people and prevent fraud and cybercrime. Previously, Walter taught cybersecurity at Thomas Edison High School in the Montgomery County Public Schools system, and he advised MCPS on IT curriculum. Before retiring in 2017, he worked as a cybersecurity project manager, applications development manager, and enterprise architect at federal agencies, helping them design, develop, and deploy more resilient and reliable software and systems. Please welcome Mr. Walter Hauser.
Walter, we need you to unmute your microphone. Oh, God. Walter.
Government agents are accused of stealing more than $1 million from a Montgomery County retiree.
The con men urged him to convert his money into gold bars and give it to them for safekeeping from identity thieves. News 4's Jackie Benson was the first to report on this scam last March. Tonight, she spoke with the Montgomery County detective who told her, despite the extensive ongoing efforts to raise awareness, the scammers keep finding and fleecing new victims.
We just got another incident yesterday.
Montgomery County Police Detective Sean Petty says the latest call came in after News 4 and other local news outlets reported Tuesday that an 82-year-old woman was robbed of nearly $1 million, the latest victim of what's being called the gold bar scam. Con men use internet pop-ups or home phone numbers to contact victims, usually in senior living communities in the county. They pretend to be federal agents investigating identity theft. They convince the victim to convert their life savings to gold bars and hand it all over for safekeeping. Petty says the victim who called yesterday presented with a new angle. The con men had sent him this letter.
They sent our victim a letter via the mail claiming that he was being investigated and he needed to transfer his assets into gold, similar to the other incident.
The fraudulent letter, full of grammatical errors, has the logo of the Federal Trade Commission and a judge's signature at the bottom. The victim in this case converted more than $1 million to gold and handed it over, believing he was being helped by the federal government.
The challenge is these scammers, they are convincing our victims that what they're hearing is legitimate.
At a shopping center outside the Leisure World senior living community.
Thank you for letting me know. I will not be involved with it.
I've heard of it. I've not had it happen to me. It's amazing how gullible people are, but the tricksters, the bad people are fairly sophisticated, I think.
The detective says one of the most difficult aspects of dealing with the victims is breaking through their denial and making them realize that they are now dealing with the real police and that their money is most likely gone for good. In Montgomery County, Jackie Benson, News 4.
Government.
So how can this happen? Well, there are three dangerous devices in your home. There's your telephone, there's your cell phone, and your computer. And they're all serious threats to your wealth and to your health. So we all get a lot of calls from unknown callers, as Shane mentioned when we started. We get a lot of email. We get a lot of text messages from strangers, and we do a lot of shopping online. We do a lot of investing and banking online. And many of us do social media online. So we're going to talk about some of the numbers and how the trends are going up sharply. We're going to talk about the various frauds and scams. We're going to talk about identity theft, and then we're going to take some questions and answers. Although young people are reporting a lot of incidents, the actual dollar amounts are much larger for older people, and that should be no surprise because we've been saving up for retirement and we have a bigger nest egg. And as you can see, over the past 20 some years, the amount of dollars have been going up sharply for fraud and identity theft, according to the Federal Trade Commission. As you can see, there are all sorts of frauds and scams that have been reported imposter scams, shopping scams, business and job opportunities, investment scams, etc. Identity theft types, credit cards, and job loans, etc. The types of contacts have been made through email, phone calls, text, social media, and you can see the dollar amounts vary, but the social media dollar amounts are disproportionately high. And Maryland identity theft is is a very popular category of loss and reporting category, and we're number 5 in the top 10 states in the country. So what are the top practices that you want to be aware of? Well, if you're contacted and you feel you're pressured into acting quickly, if you're threatened or if you're fearful, if you're intimidated, if someone is impersonating an authority figure, if someone is being overly friendly, flatters you, if you're feeling a fear of missing out, if you're feeling the pressure that there's only one spot left, if someone gives you a small gift and you feel pressured that you need to respond, or if you let in on a secret and you're told not to tell anyone, particularly friends or family, don't tell anybody about it. This is a secret mission. Police officers do not don't tell your friends and family that you're working with them on a secret mission. So, as you heard previously, government agencies like CMS, Medicare do not initiate contact only in person or in writing. They will initiate contact and they won't do it in writing or in person. They will want if they call you, they want to say, contact us. They will not call out of the blue. They will not threaten with local cops. They will not ask for payment in gift cards or Zelle or Venmo, and they will not tell you to send money to a third party. All of those items, all those points are red flags that you should be aware of, and you should hang up. Imposter scams. If you get called from big tech, Microsoft, Amazon, Google are not going to call you. They don't care whether your computer is infected. They're not going to send you a pop-up message saying to go to this website to download software. Those are fake websites. The software that you do download is malware that's going to infect your computer and steal your logins. If they reach out to you, they'll, if you feel pressure to act quickly to download software and get a request for access, hang up, say no. If they do connect with you, disconnect immediately. And if they have get access to your computer, then have it scanned for malware, because you really can't trust that computer anymore, because it's been infected by software that you don't know really what it's going to do. And you can find out more at this QR code, and we're going to give you a link, set of links at the end of this presentation that you can use as references.
Everybody can recognize a check, but although this check looks real, it's a fake. Hi, I'm Andre Avery, United States Postal Inspector. Fake checks are showing up in social media scams that target young adults who are trying to make some extra money. In one scam, a person pretends to hire you as a mystery shopper to evaluate a retailer. You get a check with instructions to deposit it in a personal bank account and wire some of the money to someone else. In another, you apply online and think you're getting hired as a personal assistant. You get a check and are told to use the money to buy gift cards and send the PIN numbers to your boss. In these fake check cases, the scammer will send you a check. They'll tell you to deposit it or buy something, take some of the money out to send to the person who contacted you, and then keep the rest. Easy money. What a deal! Ha! Don't believe it. While the check may look real and the funds may initially show up in your bank account, the check is fake. By the time the bank realizes it, you'll be out the money you sent to the scammer and owe the bank any money that you withdrew. So, how do you spot the scam? It's actually pretty simple. If someone you don't know sends you a check and asks you to send money back to them or to someone else, it's a scam. I hate to derail your easy money job, but I'd rather help you hold on to your money. For more information on scams, visit uspis.gov.
And another version on that scam is, let's say you get a job and then it's a fake job, and they'll send you a check to go out and buy, let's say, computer equipment and office supplies. You go cash the check and then spend your own money or credit card you go to their website, and then the equipment doesn't show up and you're out your money. Similar, it's just like the advanced fee scam. Charity scams. We're very generous as a society, and the criminals know that, and they will, send out pleas, especially for, any emergency or tragedy or natural disaster. So you want to check out the charity. Don't be pressured. Don't give your personal information over the phone. Verify that the charity is legitimate. Find out about them. Do they contract out for fundraising? How much do they the money they raised actually goes to the recipient? Pay the organization directly with a check or credit card, not with a gift card or Venmo or Zelle. And you can find out about charities at the IRS, Better Business Bureau, Wise Giving Alliance, Charity Navigator, Charity Watch, or GuideStar. So know your charities before you give your money. Romance scams are particularly diabolical because you not only lose your money, you can lose your heart.
She sounded like such a nice lady. It was easy for him to fall for her. But what sounded like a beautiful romance turned out to be a nightmare betrayal. It was a romance scam involving an older man and a younger woman he met online, the victim's son.
If she could think of a lie to tell my dad about why she needed money, she told it.
His 80-year-old father lost his life savings, more than $2 million, to a woman he met online. She told him she needed the money for breast cancer surgery, then to purchase a vehicle. Still more was needed to fix up her home, and then to pay off debts so she could leave her job and be with him.
Been very conservative, frugal, and the idea that he was handing away money, $100,000 at a time, just never occurred to anyone.
This was particularly compelling because the victim suffered from Alzheimer's. Con artists often prey on the vulnerable and older Americans. Here's an important takeaway from this story. It's not only important to keep tabs on what your children are doing online, but your parents as well. If you are a caregiver, monitor the finances of the person you are caring for. For more information on scams, visit uspis.gov.
So related to romance scams, because many of these romance scams can turn into investment scams, because one of the ways that these scams develop is that there'll be a casual text message that will appear up. It'll appear to be a mistake, and then the scammer will casually chat up the target, saying, "Oh, you're very nice. You're very polite. You must be a really good person," and flatter you. And then, you know, over a period of days or weeks, maybe months, exchange pictures and pleasantries, and then switch the conversation into investments, because the scammer will claim to be a business analyst in a foreign country and talk about how they've been making a lot of money in cryptocurrency exchanges. And the next thing you know, that you'll be told how you can make great returns on this crypto exchange. And we've seen victims right here in Montgomery County lose millions of dollars on these fake crypto exchanges. And we're not talking about people who these are very successful business people, highly educated individuals who think they can, make better than average returns, and these websites are very well and cleverly constructed, and the scammers are very have detailed playbooks that extract repeated fees, and have been very effective. So verify their credentials and licenses of any investment opportunities. You can see them at Broker Check at FINRA, which is the Trade Association for Investment Brokers. Meet at their office. Don't invest with somebody that's entirely online, and understand how they make their money. You just simply ask them how they make their money, and also inquire if they're a fiduciary. In other words, do they make their money? Are they committed to making money, making money for you first, as to making money for themselves? Phishing emails. This business has gotten increasingly more difficult with artificial intelligence. This particular email is about 5 years old, before the advent of AI. So I'm going to run through it very quickly. The cues here are fairly obvious to me now. In other words, I'm not a customer of Norton antivirus, so when I got it, it was suspicious, and then it came from a Gmail account instead of Norton account. So whenever you see a email that claims to be from a business and it comes from a Hotmail or Gmail or Yahoo Mail or any other free account like that, be very suspicious. Of course, it was lowercase, so that's not good business correspondence. The language was awkward, so that's not good business correspondence. It made me upset or anxious or emotional, because it said they were going to bill me for $349, or they had charged me for it for something that I didn't buy. So they wanted me to get me excited to call that number so they can try to extract information from me, or credit card information or whatever. And then it was ridiculous in that they were just billing me for they were billing me for McAfee antivirus when they claimed to be from Norton. So these kinds of mistakes will rarely be made now, because AI is going to catch all these. And what you're going to see now are phishing emails that are very clean. You're going to need to be alert more to your own emotions and to the context. You're going to be looking at it. Is it going to be too good to be true? Is it going to be are you going to be fearful of missing out? You're going to need to look at the header there and see, is it coming from a Gmail account or some other strange account like this one? And then, and also do not read your email early in the morning or late at night when you're tired. Reading your email is a task that requires your full alertness. Here's another email that purports to be from PayPal. It's an invoice. And of course, this is ridiculous because it's not even to me. I'm a blind carbon copy on an invoice, which is absurd. Well, anyhow. And you get text messages, SMS messages. These are also, you got to be very careful. This one claims to be from USPS. However, if you look at the link there, it says that it actually is a link in India. So, that doesn't make any sense. This one, you look at the domain name, although it has USPS in the middle of it, you add any characters around any part of a link, and you can't guarantee the source of the link. So be very skeptical. Don't trust any text message from unknown source, or even if you think you know the source, be very skeptical, because people lose control of their email, they lose control of their cell phones, and then the bad guys can use contacts in the email or contacts in their cell phones to send these attacks out. And here's an email that, and it says it's from Costco.com, but, and it probably was, but for me, it wasn't worth clicking on it because the information was not worth the risk of having a link that would download malware onto my computer or cell phone. And likewise, here's another link that the opportunity to get a $150 Dollar Tree card from India wasn't worth the risk. And if your kid is telling you to call some random phone number, call them up on the number that you know and trust, or call their parents and find out why they're sending these crazy text messages. Anyhow, and beware of DocuSign texts that come out of the blue, because that's another way of scamming. And send these scam texts to 7726 so that your mobile carrier can keep track of them. And maybe one of these days, the mobile carriers will actually do something about all these scam texts, because they can, but they just don't bother. All righty, QR codes. See those nice little pattern messages there that send you to random websites? Well, watch carefully. Because that QR code was going to send you not to the website that the parking people wanted to send you, but to a scammer's website that was going to steal your money and your credit. So be very careful. If it's a sticker, if it's not sharp and embedded in the text, you be very don't use it. If you can run it across it, if it's detectable or can be peeled, yeah, it could be hiding the legitimate sticker.
As more and more packages are being delivered by the Postal Service, thieves are cruising around your neighborhood looking to snatch them from your porch. Hi, I'm Andre Avery, United States Postal Inspector. You can be sure that postal inspectors are also out there on the street in your neighborhood on the lookout for these mail thieves. But
We could use your help to prevent these crimes. Pick up your mail as soon as possible after delivery, and definitely do not leave mail in your mailbox overnight. The longer mail stays in your mailbox, the more susceptible it is to theft. Hand your outgoing mail to your letter carrier, mail it at the post office, or from a secure receptacle at your place of business. If you have a camera system, make sure it's aimed and focused on capturing activity at your front door or mailbox. If your camera catches mail thieves in the act of stealing U.S. mail, save the video and contact postal inspectors at 877-876-2455 or at usbis.gov.
We have a full-time postal inspector working with us at the Montgomery County Police Department. So if you contact us at our non-emergency number or our at 301, or excuse me, at our non-emergency number or at our financial crimes number, which I'll share with you later, you can reach them there. Okay, ATM skimming. Okay, you go to an ATM machine, you need to be very careful, particularly if you go to a machine that's in a gas station or, on a street corner. Criminals will put devices on them that you can barely detect that will, like a keypad overlay or a little hidden camera or a skimmer on top of it that will capture your PIN. And you want to use a chip card, which is safer and best, of course, use the ATM inside of the bank. There are a whole bunch of other scams. I mean, there's just so many. You get a family member, someone calls and said they've been kidnapped and they pretend to be, a relative. Utility calls, threatens to cut off your service. There are, a lot of, and lotteries. You've won a lottery and all you have to do is send them the transfer tax or the remittance fee. Romance scams we talked about earlier. And jury duty scams. You missed your jury duty. And of course, most of us seniors don't even have to go to jury duty. Job scams, you're looking for a job or in the case of, if you're an employer, the North Koreans are going out, job hunting and they, have the best resumes in the world. And they're basically stealing companies blind. Zero balance gift cards. The gift card doesn't have anything on it when you walk out the door. Computer help desk we talked about already. That's scareware that you get a message on your computer while you visited the wrong website, and a message pops up telling you you've got malware, etc. Package delivery text messages. You've got to go to this website to arrange for a redelivery of your package. I imagine everybody's received those text messages about you've got a fine for having traveled on the toll roads. The North Koreans have been sending them out all over the United States, telling everybody in every state that they've been on the Massachusetts Turnpike. Anyhow, that any recent crisis is a subject for a scam. So now that they've stolen your bank account, they also steal your information, and they do that in order to commit crimes in your name, and to obtain credit cards, to get a tax refund. And now, how can they get a tax refund if you owe the IRS money? Well, they just write the tax return so that they get a refund. They don't have to tell the truth. And they get a mortgage, they can get a loan, and they stick you with the bill. And another way that they can get, now this is a young lady, but I've seen elders overshare on social media.
Hey, Serena. Yeah? What you got in your bag?
It's my happiness for graduation. Good morning, guys. Guess what day it is? It's my birthday. Okay, where are these trains coming from?
So, yes, and if that's a debit card, they can take your entire bank balance. If it's a credit card, you have some legal recourse and you can challenge the transactions and, of course, change your credit card number and get a new one. So how does ID theft occur? Well, it's a follow-on to various other frauds. Someone has gotten your personal identifiable information as a result of other frauds that's been committed. And of course, a lot of companies have been particularly bad in safeguarding personal information, including the credit bureaus. Equifax, for instance, lost 140 million credit accounts. I think that was pretty much everybody in the United States. And email and SMS links, bad websites. People, click on these links and all that information and malware is downloaded on our computers and our information is exfiltrated out of our computers. Mailbox theft is one way that information's dumpster diving. People, bad guys just go through our trash looking. And here's an example of how companies are careless with the records. This restaurant just used hospital records to wrap up the lunches that they sold. So how do you prevent this? Well, you can screen your phone calls and solicitations and make sure that you don't answer calls from people you don't know. And if legitimate callers will leave a message, and caller ID can be easily spoofed. The software is easily downloadable, and they can pretend to be anybody, including Montgomery County Police Department. So if you have any questions, just say, as our previous speaker said, just take the take the name and number down, and then don't call that number. Look it up independently, and in a trusted source, and then verify that person actually called you by talking to that person. Okay, and then don't be pressured or bullied. Okay, now if it sounds too good to be true, guess what? It probably is. And if you're interested, take your time, ask questions, investigate the offer. If it's legit, they'll take their time, put their answers in writing. And don't give out personal information, okay? That way, use credit cards because you have legal protection versus debit cards or gift cards because you have no protection or recourse. Money is gone when it goes. Get transaction alerts on your credit cards and your bank accounts. Review statements for suspicious activities, like our previous speaker talked about, reviewing those explanation of benefits. We'll review your bank statements very carefully and review those transaction alerts very carefully. And then shred sensitive documents. Clean Cut Shredding does this for free over there off of Goody Drive. Mail checks at the post office. Freeze your credit at the reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Get all that information from the identity theft.gov. The Federal Trade Commission talks about how to get your quarterly reports and your credit freezes in detail. And I'll give you a link at the end. If you've been targeted, remember, it's not your fault. Okay. These guys make their living at it. They're pros. They're practice. They have scripts. They work at it. If you've been a victim, report it immediately. We have the non-emergency number, okay, 301-279-8000. Its report is required if your insurance coverage will cover it. Call your bank and credit card company. Better Business Bureau is another reporting source. Federal Trade Commission, Internal Revenue Services if it's a tax fraud, FBI, IC3 if it was internet or phishing related. AARP Fraud Watch Network is another place to report fraud. And let me wrap it all up for you. If you get a phone call, email, or text message, do you know who it is? Okay. You can be fooled because these scammers know so much about you. You know, they have, you know, they have access to the data brokers. They can collect a portfolio on you that they can know more about you than you know. So just because they can cite all sorts of information about you, don't believe that they are actually your bank. Do not believe that they are actually, your long lost cousin, or that they are actually Amazon. Okay. Call them back using a trusted number and verify that the situation that they describe is the situation. There are so many data breaches, so many data brokers, and they all sell your information. So to avoid a scam, start with the premise that every direct message, link, email, or text is fake. And that should be your default response to any contact you did not initiate. And every time you're asked to pay for something with a gift card, wire transfer, Zelle, Venmo, cryptocurrency, assume it's a scam. And if you didn't look for it, don't install it. Here's a list of links and web pages that we've developed for the Montgomery County Police Department. I'm going to provide that so you'll have that later. And let me share this in the age of AI. Don't believe your lying eyes.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, can make fake things seem very real, just like everything in this video.
Online scams are easier now because AI videos make things look so real. Like this whole place. As AI video technology gets better, scammers will use it to trick people. Here are some things to watch out for.
Ma'am, I see multiple threats on your computer. I need access immediately to secure your files. Nope, I'm fake.
We've detected suspicious activity on your account. Can you tell me your login information? Just kidding, I'm fake.
These miracle hearing aids are only $14.99 today. Click the link below and order now. Nope, I'm fake, just like these hearing aids.
We just need to confirm your Medicare number to update your benefits for this year. No, not really.
Congratulations, you've won $1 million. You just have to pay the small claiming fee today. Nope, I'm fake.
We're raising funds for a sick parishioner. Can you send me some Apple gift cards? Nope, I'm fake.
Can you believe these concert tickets are so cheap?
No, they are fake, just like all of this.
Most of these scams only work if you respond quickly and without thinking. Don't fall for it. Take a moment to assess the situation. Videos will be made and shared in the hopes of getting people to do things or feel a certain way. Be careful.
We're collecting donations for wildfire victims. Can we count on you? Nope, I'm fake.
It looks like I stole these donuts, huh?
Nope. This is all fake. They can make me say anything. For example, I don't know my rear end from a hole in the ground. See what I mean? Did you know the candidate kicks puppies?
Nope. That's fake, and so are we.
If you think it looks fake, it probably is. Trust your gut.
If you mix bananas, pickles, and ice cream, you'll get sick. Be careful of online nutrition advice.
This tech is only getting better. We can even imitate people you know and love. Be careful.
Grandma, it's me, Billy. I'm in jail and I need to get bailed out. Please send cash now.
Nope, I'm fake. I miss you, baby. If I could just get that plane ticket, we'd finally be together. Nope, I'm fake.
Hello, handsome. Just send me the money for the trip and I'll come see you. Nope. Sorry, I'm fake. What can you do? If you're not sure if something is real, ask someone you trust.
Again, everything in this video is fake. Our voices, what we're wearing, where we are, all of it fake. If you think you've been the victim of a scam like any of these, don't be embarrassed. Contact your local law enforcement right away.
Share this video with your loved ones who are online, especially if they may not be aware of AI scams, before it's too late.
Don't worry, folks. We'll be back to our silly videos again real soon. This was just too important. Take care of yourselves.
Well, on behalf of Mark Yamada and the Montgomery County Police Department, I thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to speak to you today. And I turn the presentation over to Shane and take questions. Or Barry.
Yeah, I'll be handling the questions. So I just, before we start with the questions, I want to let everybody know that JCA has been doing a blog series on all kinds of fraud and scams. And you can find those on our blog page at any time. There's a lot of good information. A lot of it comes from AARP, which has a ton of information. The first question, why is it called smishing? Is it called smishing because it's an SMS, which I just learned means short message service?
Yes, or a simple messaging service.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's from the SMS.
Okay. Are there ways that people install card readers on gas pumps also that can steal your credit card information?
Right.
That's also like the ATMs, that's also a problem?
Yeah.
And is there any way to tell what's going on there?
Well, if you're lucky.
Okay, if they're sloppy and you're lucky. Okay.
Yeah, it depends on how careful the establishment is in keeping track of their property.
Yeah, I guess they won't be getting paid if you if somebody else is stealing your credit card information.
Well, they might be getting the revenue from the transaction, but you'll be getting additional transactions on your.
I see. Okay.
Let me warn you that if you get credits to your credit card, small, like $1 here or $2 there, okay, that's a bad thing too, because that will establish a pattern of a financial relationship that then could result in a $10,000 withdrawal or charge against your credit card or against your bank account. That's happened.
Okay.
So, those small positive transactions you need to be alert to, as well as, the negative ones.
Somebody asked when the Equifax breach was and how can they find out more information?
Oh gosh, that was several years ago. I'd have to look that up.
Okay.
I'd rather pass on that for now.
Okay. All right. What is a trusted source for phone numbers? Sometimes when you even when you Google, like you get a note from your bank and you Google Capital One, something comes up it's a fake Capital One website. It's not even the real one. How can you verify?
Don't trust Google results. Right. If you're a Capital One customer, you want to go to the bookmarks that you keep on your web browser for Capital One. Okay. And
Or as an example, yeah.
Yeah.
So you should bookmark all your your financial and health information websites.
Right. Yeah, and otherwise go to your paperwork.
Okay. All right. And if you are calling and you're worried about security on your phone, is it best to use a landline, a cell phone, or a voice over internet provider?
Well, most of our landlines are now VoIP. So.
Oh, okay.
And well, it depends on the threat, that you're talking about. Cell phones are relatively cell phone operating systems can be fairly robust. We're going to go into a conversation about cybersecurity here, and that's another presentation.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Another rabbit hole. I give that presentation. Happy to come back.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we might do that. You provided hashtag 7726 as the number to report phishing. Is there a number to contact to report phone calls and not texts?
Phone calls and not text.
Or is it all the same?
Video. Well, I don't know.
Well, I guess you wouldn't be. Yeah.
You can report them all to IC3.
Okay, and that's in that list of resources?
Yeah, that would be the FBI's website.
Okay. And is there anything you can install on your computer or phone to safeguard it, to alert you if there's some kind of suspicious malware or some kind of something going on?
Oh, well, there's software you can get for cell phones, and
okay,
and anti-malware, and like you can get for your computer.
Okay, and where would people find out about those?
Well, you go. Well, now we're getting into the cybersecurity.
Right, cybersecurity again.
Always use the official, if you're the Google, Android system, use the Google Play Store. If it's Apple, use the Apple, whatever it is that Apple, the official store. Okay, don't go to some third party, market to get something, because they don't. It's bad enough to go to the official store. Okay?
Right. Any tip?
Look for products that have lots of positive reviews, and not so many negative reviews, but some negative reviews. Okay. In other words, because companies that are the bad guys will astroturf their products, put in a lot of positive reviews that are, just basically, redundant. The same thing over and over again.
Okay. Do you have any tips for adult children or caregivers to help with their older parents or people with dementia, things like that? Sigh, yeah.
Visit frequently, keep in touch. Because they're lonely, they're prime candidates for these romance scams. And these they're pig butchering scams, as they're called in the trade. You know, the Chinese gangs run out of Cambodia and Myanmar will they run huge complexes of trafficked people to call. I mean, I've heard estimated that 50% of the GNP of Cambodia is from fraud.
Wow.
Yeah, in this pig butchering business. So I mean that it's they have hundreds of thousands of people involved in this, calling, in the United States and Europe, talking to people, lonely people, to talk money out of them.
Okay, well,
playbooks and scripts that they work out of.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's our last question, and some sobering food for thought. So I'm going to turn it over to Shane to take us out.
I would say thank you very much to Mr. Hauser for sharing important information and giving us ways to avoid being victimized. I didn't know about quishing. My gosh, that's very scary. And I appreciate the tip on checking out QR codes by inspecting and running your finger over it. That's really great. Thanks also to Rafael Esponoza and to Barry Kravitz for their work tonight, and and to Rafael for his presentation. Thank you all for joining us this evening. I hope you leave better prepared to identify and protect yourself against fraud, scams, and identity theft. We are grateful that you joined us this evening. Stay safe out there, and good night.
Artificial intelligence
Barry?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, it's
Oh.
okay. Eric has stopped the recording, I
Oh,
think.
no, it looks like it's still recording.
Okay.